Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest transfer news and we're joined by Fabrizio. How are you doing, Fabrizio?
Oh, my friend, all good, all good. Thank you as always for the invitation and hi to all the Manchester United fans.
Well, you're very welcome as usual. I suppose I'm just going to fly straight in and we've got lots to talk about, but actually it's a lot of the same things because we still haven't got any of these deals over the line that we've been talking about. If I said to you this week, Lisandro Martinez, Frenkie de Jong, Christian Eriksen, do you think by the end of this week we'll have any of those from what you're hearing, or do you think it's still going to be a bit of time for United?
I think yes. One of them, probably, with Christian Eriksen, I think is a matter of time of resolving the final things on the contract, then medical, and then to announce the deal. And then we will see what happens with Lisandro and Frenkie de Jong, because these are two different situations. Of course, Eriksen is a free agent for Frenkie, and Lisandro is completely different kind of negotiation, completely different timing. Honestly, I'm not so surprised on Frenkie timing too, because I've always been told that it was almost impossible to complete that deal before day 30 of June, also because of player side. The real point is on player side, not a lot between clubs, but it's on player side. And so we will see at the end of the week, but at the moment I would say for Eriksen, I can be pretty optimistic. For the other two, negotiations are needed.
With Frenkie, is this just about these wages that he's owed by Barcelona then? Is that what's holding this up? Or over the weekend, we did hear a few people saying he doesn't want to come to Manchester United, which we found strange because 2 months of negotiations, you'd think that Manchester United would have spoken to Frenkie a little bit to see if he was willing to come.
Yes, your final point is correct, but it's also true that Frenkie de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona. It's not that he doesn't want to go to Manchester United. It's different. It's that Frenkie wants to stay at Barcelona. He loves the city. He loves the club. He loves everything at Barcelona. And so is the reality. He wants to continue at Barca. He dreams of Barcelona as club for his future. And so this is the priority for the player. But at the same point, as we know in football, in the transfer market, things can change because of many factors. And one of these factors could be Barcelona financial situation. It means that if Barca will try to tell Frenkie, we need to reduce his salary as is expected, because I think, and I'm told that it's really difficult for Barcelona to continue with the current squad, with new signings, and with Frenkie de Jong, with a huge salary to be activated for the next season. So if they will not be able to afford this salary, it's likely that Barca will tell Frenkie, okay, now we will need to find a solution to reduce your salary or to go. This is the potential way that Manchester United are waiting. This is why Man United are still there. So let me say that Man United are still there. When I see around that it's over, it's not over because Man United are still there for Frenkie. They are still waiting. They are still discussing with Barcelona. We know that it's almost 10 days that they have an agreement on the fixed part of the deal, 65 million euros. And they are still discussing with Barcelona in a very slow way because they need to resolve the player side. But they are still discussing with Barcelona on the add-ons part of the deal, 20 million euros. I think it's pretty normal that it takes time to discuss on the add-ons because it's a big amount. It's not 1 or 2 million euros. It's 20 million euros. And so you need to decide how long it has to be to activate these add-ons, what kind of add-ons you want to include. So there are many things to resolve on the add-on structure, but also at the same point, it's really important to mention the situation on player side, because Man United are discussing with Barca, Man United are working on it, but they're waiting to understand what happens between Frenkie and Barcelona. So it depends on Frenkie and it depends on Barca more than on Man United now.
Okay, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. A lot of people in the chat, we're going to talk about Ajax and Lisandro Martinez in a minute, but Cristiano Ronaldo, you've been quite well informed on this one, Fabrizio. I've been keeping an eye on your Twitter about Ronaldo. Erik Ten Hag said today it's personal issues that keep him out of the tour. Is there any news on when Ronaldo may decide to come back for pre-season training and what his future is likely to be? Do you think there is a chance that he'll stay at Manchester United, or do you think that that move will still be pushed by Jorge Mendes and Cristiano?
So first point I want to mention, and I think is a really important point, I already mentioned a few days ago, but maybe it was not so clear because we are using the transfer market to see many things, many stuff, but what Erik Ten Hag said today and what Manchester United said for many days, I'm told that is the reality. Cristiano really has a personal problem, a personal issue with part of his family. Of course, I can't mention details because it's private stuff, but it's true. Cristiano is dealing with a private issue, and so he is not out of the Manchester United team because he wants to force his move. Cristiano wants to leave, but we know Cristiano Ronaldo. We don't know what's going to happen, but The only thing we can say 100% with Cristiano is the most professional player probably in the history of football. And so Cristiano would never do something like that. Cristiano with Juventus last summer, he wanted to leave. He was desperate to leave Juventus, but he played the opening game with Udinese. He was scoring a goal. So Cristiano has always been super professional. So I don't see Cristiano forcing his move like that. So he's dealing with this personal issue. But at the same point, Cristiano's message to Man United has been clear, and Jorge Mendes has been clear. He wants to go. He wants to try something different. And so what's the situation? Jorge Mendes also this week will have new contacts with all the clubs he already approached to discuss about Cristiano. So he will try to push with Chelsea, with Todd Bowley, and with Thomas Tuchel, because it depends on Thomas Tuchel with Chelsea, but it also depends on Man United, because I think the real strong message coming today from Erik ten Hag and all the messages we received on club side in the last few weeks, they say he's not for sale. And I think it's a strong message to English clubs in particular, like saying that they don't want to negotiate for Cristiano, and then Cristiano maybe in 2 months is scoring against Man United in Premier League. So, this is an important point that I think it's like a message. It's not going to be easy for English clubs to sign Cristiano. But Jorge Mendes, he's still working on English clubs too, and with Chelsea in this case. And then Bayern, because Jorge Mendes discussed with Bayern 20 days ago. He will be again in touch with Bayern, because Jorge Mendes works like this. He tries and tries and tries. He keeps trying till the end of the summer. And so this is the situation. Bayern, Chelsea. I'm told the Italian clubs is something almost impossible. So Napoli or all the other options, there is absolutely nothing. We will see what happens with these two clubs, and we will see what happens with Man United, because it's also true that Erik ten Hag is waiting, as he confirmed today, to have a direct conversation with Cristiano. He wants to speak with Cristiano again, because he had this conversation he mentioned today before this issue of Cristiano Ronaldo. So he's waiting to have a discussion with him to see if he can be able to change the situation around Cristiano. And final point, Cristiano has no problem with Erik ten Hag. I'm told that Cristiano is really happy with Erik ten Hag as a manager. He's really happy with Erik ten Hag as face of the new project at Manchester United. He thinks the problem is with the ambition into the team. It means new signings. It's normal for a top player like Cristiano to see Man City signing Haaland, Phillips, and probably other players this summer. To see also, of course, Liverpool with Darwin Núñez, with Mo Salah extending his contract, and many other things. He wants to see the same from Manchester United. So we will see what happens, but we will follow the situation, because the next days will be important.
I think it's an interesting point, because I've always felt that if we signed good players, there'd be more chance of Ronaldo staying. And whilst he's got this unfortunate personal issue, it would be a good time for United to buy players, because then Ronaldo's not going anywhere, and you could potentially persuade him. Before I will talk to you about Ajax and Antony and Lisandro Martinez, but one player that did pop into my head over the weekend, it's a player I really like, but and therefore I don't believe it. But have you heard anything about Paredes from PSG and Manchester United being interested? Because we had a little bit over the weekend that United had made an inquiry, but as we sometimes get with French outlets and Manchester United, it's not always something that comes true.
At the moment, I'm told that Paredes has been offered by Paris Saint-Germain to many, many clubs, not just Man United, in England, in Italy, in Spain, because Paris Saint-Germain need to get rid of many players. But I'm also told that it's not easy with Leandro Paredes to find a solution, because he would love to stay at PSG, as he mentioned in public also a few weeks ago. And so at the moment, there is nothing like imminent or close. I would say that a player to watch, for example, in case Man United will not be able to sign Frenkie, because it depends on Barcelona, it depends on Frenkie. And let me remind that the priority is still Frenkie. But in case they won't be able to do it, I would keep an eye, for example, on Yuri Tillemans, who is a big opportunity on the market, who Man United have scouted him for a long time. And they also had contacts with his agents like February, March to explore the general situation. Now could be an opportunity. We know that he's waiting for Arsenal since long time. Arsenal had contacts with his agents, had contacts with Leicester, so Arsenal are still leading the race for Yuri Tillemans. But they also need to be fast. They know that they need to be fast if they want to sign Tillemans, because they have different priorities. So I'm just saying what I'm told that could be one of the options, but just in case Frenkie de Jong deal will collapse. And at the moment, it's not collapsing.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to see Manchester United sign Frenkie de Jong and Yuri Tillemans, as I'm sure many other people would. But I think he'd be available for a good price with 1 year left on his contract, maybe £30 million. Another player that you've mentioned to us in the
price,
past.
I think. This is the price, I think. And I think, as you should say, it's a very good price for a player like Tillemans.
Yeah, definitely. I can't remember what his age is. I think he must be around mid-20s as well. So it's not
yes,
a good price. Yeah.
Ruben
Neves was mentioned yesterday as another option for Manchester United. Again, I believe he's a Mendes client. Do you think that's just I know we've mentioned him on the show a year ago that he was on the list. Do you think Neves would still be under the list under Ten Hag, or do you think that's probably just, he's been on the list in the past, like Pau Torres, who ultimately we haven't ended up going for?
No, he's always been in the list at Manchester United, and he's still a player appreciated internally and highly rated. There is a point that if Wolves are asking for 100 million euros or 95 million euros, Man United are not paying that fee as of today. So they consider Ruben Neves a very good player, but for a different price. And so at the moment, I think this is my personal opinion. This is not news, but I think if you have Tielemans for 35 million euros and Ruben Neves for 100 million euros, also because of the budget, I'm not judging the players, but I think because of the budget, makes sense to go for a different player, no? So this is why the price tag is a really important point on this Ruben Neves story. Maybe Wolves later in the window will ask for a different fee, and it could be a different situation with Man United because the player has always been in the list and always been appreciated.
Yeah, I think that's a good point about the price. There's a very big different one. Talking about the price, we will go to Ajax. I can see people in the live chat saying, ask about Ajax. We don't have to do everything at the start. We will do Ajax now. I woke up this morning, Fabrizio, and I saw the bid go in for Lisandro Martinez on Friday of, I think it was 50 million euros. And I knew that's what Ajax wanted. So I thought, well, that'll be it. But Ajax in control, now potentially asking for more money or straight up money. What is going on with Ajax, with Lisandro Martinez and Manchester United? You've got the player who wants to come. You've got Manchester United who want him. And Ajax normally are quite open to selling players. They know that's their place. Is this just about getting as much money and it will happen? Or do you think there could be a problem where United don't pay up?
At the moment, for Ajax, they want to keep the player. They really want to keep the player because, first point, they need to protect a new manager who is not strong as Erik Ten Hag has been for many years at Ajax. And so they want to make sure that he has a very good team. And so this is the first point. And also, they feel that after the World Cup, the value of Lisandro Martinez, if today is around 50 million euros, maybe in 1 year, it could be around 70, 80, 90 million euros. So for Ajax could be also this kind of idea. But at the same point, they know the player idea. The player idea is to join Premier League football this summer, and with Manchester United leading the race, because Arsenal are still there. Arsenal are still trying. Mikel Arteta is a big fan, but Man United are absolutely leading the race. Also thanks to Erik Ten Hag, of course, the connection is really strong. Ten Hag wants him. The player knows that Man United are trying in every way to find a way with Ajax. So Lisandro will push with Ajax to leave immediately and to join English clubs, Man United leading the race, as soon as possible. So this is the player position. Let's see what happens this week, because I think that Lisandro will be, again, very clear with Ajax. And now it's up to Ajax to decide if they want to go strong against the player in this case, or, as you mentioned, with their tradition of being open when they find opportunities on the market to discuss with Man United and then to find a way.
Yeah, I think I do have sympathy with Ajax. They've lost half their team. PSV pushed them a lot last year. They've got their own domestic league to think about, but I do think that one will happen. One that I find very interesting is Antony. Now, it must be coming up for 3 or 4 weeks ago now that it's pretty much well known that, again, Antony would like to follow Ten Hag to the Premier League. I think his agent would like to see that happen as well. But again, he's a little bit more expensive than Lisandro. Do you think United will be in? We keep hearing that we haven't bid, we have put a proposal, we are talking, we're not talking. At this point, do you think United are talking to Ajax about Antony, or do you think that's not happening?
No, there is no bid at the moment. There is no bid. For Lisandro, there have been 2-3 bids. At the moment, for Antony, is not the same. So for Antony, just some conversation to understand about the price. And I think that Man United, of course, they know how the transfer market works. And as you mentioned, Ajax already lost many important players. So you're already negotiating for Lisandro. If at the same point you negotiate for Antony, you are creating a big problem to Ajax, and you already have their manager. Let's remember of Erik Ten Hag. So this is why the situation is not so easy on this point of view to negotiate for 2 players of the same club, 2 really important players, after they already lost Aller, Gravenberch, Mazraoui, Onana, many important players. So at the moment, the situation for Antony is Man United had some conversation, explored the situation about the price. They know that Ajax make the same strategy they have with Lisandro. They don't want to sell Antony. So they are asking 80 million euros because they don't want to sell him. And the message is pretty clear. But as Lisandro is pushing to have this opportunity in Premier League this summer, it's pretty same for Antony. At the moment, it's not strong pressure as Lisandro, but I'm told that 2 weeks ago, his agents already had conversations with Ajax to tell them, okay, try to negotiate with English clubs, try to negotiate with Man United if they will submit an official proposal. So Antony is hoping for a move this summer, but I think the priority is now Lisandro, to be fast for Man United, and then to try for Antony in the coming weeks. But it depends on Ajax more than on Man United now.
Yeah, and I think Antony is carrying an injury as well. So actually getting him in at the moment, you could probably wait 2 or 3 weeks on that. But I saw Manchester United training today, and we are very light in the attack. Obviously, Ronaldo's not there. Even with the front three of Martial, Sancho and Rashford, which is nice, there's nothing beyond that anymore. If Ronaldo was to leave, or even if he doesn't leave, we are very light in the attack. Are there any other striking options that you think are viable? We've been linked to Dybala. Do you think that's just agent talk? And also this Brian Brobby as well. Manchester United have been linked to him, another former Ten Hag player, but he might prefer Ajax. So it's all a bit, everyone's fishing in the same pond, I suppose.
Yes. In this moment of the market, it's always like this. Then maybe in August, there are opportunities and different things that could change the market. But Brobbey is a player that they appreciate. Erik ten Hag is a big fan of Brobbey, but he also knows that Brian wants to be a regular starter, and this is why he agreed personal terms with Ajax. He wants to play football. He already moved to Leipzig. He was not playing, and so he doesn't want to have the same feeling, and it's difficult at Man United to play, especially if Cristiano will still be there, or if many other players will still be there at Man United. So this is why Brobbey is giving priority to Ajax, but now they need to complete the agreement with Leipzig. And Man United are basically waiting on Brobbey. Discussing of Dybala, let me say that the situation is really particular because Dybala was really close to join Inter 1 month ago. The agreement was really close on a free transfer. Then Inter decided to sign Romelu Lukaku immediately in a very fast deal with Chelsea. And so what happened? That Dybala agents started to discuss with many clubs around Europe to explore possibilities, to see if there is something else waiting for Inter to sell some player, because they're still hoping for Inter move, but exploring options around Europe. Among these options, also Manchester United. So they had a conversation with Man United to understand if they were interested in Paulo, what kind of conditions, what kind of salary could be the potential negotiation between Dybala and Man United, but nothing else. From Man United, they had this conversation and nothing else. So they are not negotiating for Dybala, or they are not targeting Dybala as of today. Then he's a free agent, and we know how fast could be the situation to change for free agents. But at the moment, it's still quiet.
Yeah, we saw that with Cavani, didn't we? He was a free agent, and then right at the end of the window, a deal was done, because at the end of the window, you almost got to be a little bit desperate or change your plans. Just on Inter Milan there very quickly, it just prompted me to think about Denzel Dumfries. I
see that you are mentioning him very, very often in the channel.
Yeah. Well, I think I can't remember where I was told this back in mid-May that he wanted Malacia. It may have been you, Fabrizio, to be fair, and that Dumfries is a player that Erik ten Hag really likes. But I think it's all about whether we can sell a right back and then whether he's still available from Inter. But he does seem to be a player that Inter would be looking to let go. He's admired by ten Hag. Can you see that happening maybe later in the window, or do you think that's probably going to be a player too far with the players that we haven't brought in already? We've still got a lot of business to do before we get to a right back, maybe.
I think your point is very good when you mention about players leaving, because there is Wan-Bissaka. I think they trust a lot, and Ten Hag is happy with a lot, but for Wan-Bissaka, they need to find a solution. And so this is the first step for the right back. And for Dumfries, I don't think the negotiation with Inter is a big problem, because he's an important player for Inter. He's a starter for Inter. But if Man United will do an important proposal, Inter could be open to discuss, to negotiate for Dumfries. But it depends on the bid, because Inter invested almost 17 million euros to sign him from PSV. He had a very good season in Italy. He's been one of the best right backs here in Serie A, scoring goals, providing assists, so doing very well. And so I think they would ask around 40 million euros for Dumfries. So let's say if Man United maybe will sell Wan-Bissaka on a permanent deal, if they can find a good formula of the deal to sell Wan-Bissaka, maybe it could be an interesting option. But at the moment, it's still something quiet, because Inter are counting on Dumfries as their starter right back for the season.
Yeah, I think that might be one for later in the transfer window. I like the way this show is flowing, because we're sort of linking Dybala's Inter thing to Dumfries. And of course, Christian Eriksen was at Inter. I know we mentioned him at the start of the video, but I did see someone in the chat saying Eriksen. I think we expected this to happen last week. He was a free agent on, 11 days ago now. What do you think's holding that up? And do you think he will be in Manchester doing a medical? I mean, he could be doing it today for all I know. Do you think that is
The expectation is for this week. The expectation is to complete it this week. Yes. Let me say that everything has been slow with Eriksen. Everything has been slow with Eriksen. Also, the negotiation with Brentford and Man United. I was expecting it to be completed, but also people into the club were expecting him to decide maybe middle June, around 20th of June, and we are now middle July and still waiting for the contract to be signed. He wants to take his time. Let's remind that this is a really important moment of his career after what happened last summer. So he's taking his time to make sure everything is fine. Also, the medical are really important, of course, for Christian, but it's a matter of time. So Man United are still really relaxed on this Eriksen deal.
Okay. Well, Fabrizio, I know we've taken up enough of your time anyway. One final thing. I didn't dream it. Did you say that Pereira's contract today for Fulham is done?
It's done. He signed today morning, 10 a.m. in the morning. So it's done.
There you go. I knew I hadn't dreamt that. I do get tired, but sometimes you do dream about these things.
No, it's done. It will be announced in the coming hours. £10 million plus £3 million add-ons.
That's great. Fabrizio, legend, as always, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll speak to you again very soon.
Thank you. See you soon, and thank you to all Manchester United fans.
Thank you, Fabrizio. Take care.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We whizzed through stuff on that one. We really, really did. A few people in the chat, I'm going to summarize very quickly, and I will be very quick because I want to get on and play my FIFA career mode. I'm itching to play today. I'll be on Twitch in about 15 minutes. But but I didn't ask about outgoings because I already know with outgoings, like Pereira is gone, 10 million quid. So we've actually got some money in the outgoings bank now. That just about covers the dividends. Brandon Williams has been linked to Southampton, but Eric Bailly, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Axel Tuanzebe, they're all on tour, so they're not going anywhere, not for a while. And Phil Jones, I mean, good luck selling that. That's like slow. Selling Phil Jones is like selling snow to Eskimos, isn't it? And also you've got who else? I mean, Dean Henderson's gone on loan. I don't think anybody forthcoming. I mean, Tellez, he's on the tour as well. So I don't think there are any players that are going to be heading out of the door very soon. If I'm absolutely honest, what happened to the Richarlison deal? Says Mohammed. He's gone to Spurs. Yeah, he's gone to Spurs. There you go. But look, some good updates there. I think that. I didn't think we were going to get anything breaking in relation to where we're going to do a deal very soon. Very interesting what Fabrizio said about Tielemans, that we'd spoken to his agent back in February and March. Now, obviously, Ten Hag, we didn't even know Ten Hag was going to be the manager there. So that would mean if Tielemans is on the list, this is actually a player that we've scouted previous to Ten Hag that he's actually interested in, because most of them he wasn't. Remember, Ten Hag was handed a massive list of players in mid-May that we'd scouted and basically said, no, I'm not interested in those. So to get to a situation whereby, Tielemans may well be on the list and a very good price as well. As I said, I'd take Tielemans and De Jong. De Jong, as we know, could keep going running. It's all about money. De Jong definitely wants to stay at Barcelona. We know that, but he'll be open to United if Barcelona sell him. Eriksen, as Fabrizio just said, that is taking a long time. And I think nobody can really understand why that's taking so long, but United are relaxed about it. He should be on the tour, Eriksen. I mean, I don't know what's holding that up. I mean, it's not even in Christian Eriksen's interest to not be training with the team. I mean, every day you're not training, whether you're Paulo Dybala or Eriksen as a free agent, it's not like you're training with your other club. You can go down the local gym and you can run around a football pitch, but he needs to be training with the team. So I don't know why that's not happening yet. Lissandro Martinez, at some point, that's got to reach a conclusion, I guess. Paredes sounds like it's just paper talk alongside Dybala as well. Ronaldo, nothing's really changing there, is it? He still wants to go. I think we need to get players in to try and change his mind, but he does have these personal issues as well. Incy will be back on soon, Sean, yes. And Dumfries, Dumfries, I hadn't asked Fabrizio about that for a while. And with Dumfries, I think we're in a situation there whereby if we can get rid of Wan-Bissaka, I think we will move for Dumfries, but maybe the price of 40 million euros is going to be a lot. But he's a good right back. I mean, I don't know why people think Dumfries is just a Dutch Wan-Bissaka. I think sometimes people are a little bit lazy on their analysis. Dumfries is actually a really good attacking right back, and that is how Erik Ten Hag wants to play. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a really bad attacking right back. He's a good defensive right back, I think. Some people would argue, because how can he be a good defensive right back when he doesn't know how to mark the back post? But Wan-Bissaka's strengths are as a defensive right back. I can't ever imagine him being a decent fullback going forward, but Dumfries would be. So keep an eye on that. But it feels to me like there's a lot of deals now that you can almost push them into beyond the start of the season. We've literally got just under 4 weeks left before we play our first game. In that time, I think we're going to do very well to have Lisandro Martinez and De Jong in place and the Ronaldo situation resolved. I don't see many people being sold. I don't see Antony. I don't see Dumfries. I don't see Tielemans or any of those three being at United for the first game of the season. So we've got to get this De Jong thing, Lisandro Martinez and Ronaldo situation resolved. And I think if we can get them resolved before the first game of the season and then do other business after that, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. But I think logically, looking at how quick time flies now with us being on the tour, that's probably most likely. With regards to outgoings, I just don't know. As I say, Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Twansebi, and anyone else you'd sell, they're all on the tour. So they're not getting sold before the end of the month. Brandon Williams and Phil Jones are the only two who are not on the tour. And I don't think either of them will be sold either. So, yeah, I think I'm not going to make any lies about it. I think this is where we're at the moment. Nobody can. I remember somebody saying last week that, was it De Jong or Lisandro Martinez will be signed in the next 48 hours? And I thought that's really brave. I don't think you can say that they'll be signed in the next 48 days at this point. I genuinely do not think you can put a time limit on any United player at the moment. Even Eriksen, which should be done today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, one of those days, I wouldn't be surprised if it went till next week. Lisandro could go for 2 more weeks. De Jong could go for another month. You really just don't know. And I suppose the exciting part of that is that we might just get a bang, the deal's done, which would be nice. But you can't put any time limit on anything at the moment. Dumfries was outstanding during Euro 2020, says Reality. Yeah, Euro 20. Well, it was last year, wasn't it? It was in 2021, but I know what you mean. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We are going to be back at 8 o'clock. We've also got my press conference reaction. We've got a watch-along tomorrow. I'm captivated by this T-shirt. I never wear it, and I actually do really like the design. I don't know why I don't wear it more. But anyway, stop admiring your chest, Goldbridge. It's the only chest I admire. Otherwise, it could be deemed as... You can't just stare at someone else's chest. What am I talking about? Anyway, I'm getting excited about my career mode. I'm going to be on FIFA career mode. If you want some excitement, join in me on that on Twitch, Goldbridge TV. I'm going to be live there in about 10 minutes' time. It's a quick turnaround. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for Fabrizio. All the updates of what's going on. Some interesting bits in there, especially around Dumfries and Tielemans. I think ultimately at the moment, no matter who you talk to, this is just where we're at with it, United at the moment. Everything is just at a real standstill. They don't know what they're doing, or do they? We'll find out. Make sure you subscribe, smash a like on the video. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll be back live at 8 o'clock. I don't think we're going to do anything before then. I'd love to say I'll be live at 6 when we've done a deal for Lisandro Martinez, but that's not going to happen. You're going to see me at 8 o'clock, and that's going to be the next time. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll join me on my career mode on Twitch, and I'll speak to you all in a bit. Smash a like on the video. Speak to you in a bit.